Why did Jennifer Soto lie to the police when they asked if Stephan Stearns had any triggers? Was she covering for him or for herself because she knew what happened? Chris Stearns doesn't think she knew what happened that day, but maybe she participated in the CSAM creation and distribution.
That was a lie. And that was the biggest lie that you see. And now you're okay. So people were saying they couldn't hear you. So I'm just, I called you and put you on speaker because I didn't know if I can call you from the computer or not, which might be easier. But can you guys hear him?
I'm going to speak. I'm going to get out of my AirPods and speak from my speakerphone.
Okay. Okay.
Is this better?
Yeah, you're a little bit louder.
Okay.
There you go.
Louder?
Yes. Yes, you're good.
Speak in a deeper tone.
Speak in a deeper tone. Yes.
Okay. You got it. So we had, multiple incidents, and I've got to believe that Maddie and Jen probably had more than that one occurrence. I can't believe in 7 years that there was only one incident. There's just no way I would believe that.
Well, 2 now, right?
Yeah. So, like I said, if you started to press Stephan and he didn't like where it was going, he would get that would be a trigger, and then if you just completely ignored what he was saying, that really set him off. And so he's attacked me physically 2 times around the throat. My face was marked up, my ears were marked up, obviously my neck was marked up.
Damn.
So I had those 2 experiences. But then one time I was in one of these situations and he was at the other end of the room. I walked into the kitchen and I just walked just to get some space between us, and then I was going to turn around, and I did turn around and come back out. Before I went through the entryway, something whizzed by the entryway, and I heard a noise. I go, oh, gee, I wonder what that was. And I came out and looked to the right, and there was a pair of scissors that were embedded in a metal door.
Damn, that's hard to do.
Yeah, I looked at him, and then I walked over to the scissors and stood next to the scissors, and they were right at my temple. And I just kept thinking, wow, if I had been just a second or 2 earlier, there's a good chance that those scissors would have embedded in my brain, in my temple, and I would have just dropped on the spot. I mean, I was blessed at the time that didn't happen. But
how old was Stephan?
He had those moments.
How old was he when that happened? Approximately, was he in his 20s, 30s?
He was in his 30s.
30s. Okay, just gives me a perspective. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. So, but anyway, there's a lot of information, as you disclose, that we couldn't share with people because of the fact that we were subpoenaed and didn't want to disrupt the legal process, and we knew that. What we were hoping for is the truth would come out, whatever he knew. I mean, somehow he seemed to feel that there was this magic bullet that his defense had, and like I have shared with you, if it was the illegally searched phone, I wasn't going to accept that. I'm glad the judge didn't either,
right?
Because there's just no denying it. And again, as I've said before, if you've done something and you're caught as caught as you are, fess up to it. And the fact that he never did allowed the authorities to do their investigation and arrive at their own conclusion and pretty much pin the responsibility all on Stephan. And that interview and the information I've read from witnesses, roommate statements, and everything else, and knowing, and Deb and I've always believed this from the beginning, that we at first thought maybe Jen may have been responsible for being aggressive with Maddie, but right. if you backtrack and think about what happened that Saturday night,
yes,
and the fact that he was just in this panic mode,
yes,
and then you find out much later that he removed his hard drive. And as I've said to you multiple times, who removes their hard drive?
Yeah.
I mean, he left Sunday with some intentions premeditated intentions.
Right.
What they were, I don't know. Maybe he thought he was going to quell whatever the issue was, but there was an issue. But the fact that he took that hard drive with him said two things. One, he wasn't going to be returning, or number two, if something happened and somebody came to the house and did a search and discovery and took that hard drive, God knows what they would have found there.
Right. Right.
So
that's a big deal.
Put all that together,
yeah.
And it to me, it just says you're guilty, and there's just no denying it.
Right. Right. And we still don't know why he was in a whatever mood he was in Saturday, asking for anxiety pills and whatever. But whatever it was, he planned something, took the hard drive, and went to Jen's house with Maddie. So that's where we are. Oh,
well, now we're left with the quandary of how we're going to see him, because he's at least 7 hours away one way. And, with the dogs, it doesn't, I could make the trip, but for Deb and I to make the trip, what we'd probably be looking at is maybe $800, maybe $1,000, because we'd be gone for 2 days. We got to arrange for the dogs to be taken care of. Then there's a hotel room and everything else.
Right.
As much as I want to know, I'm not sure I'm willing to make that investment yet. He's where he needs to be. He put himself there. He's got nobody else to blame for himself, and I'm just not going to be supportive about it. He's guilty of his own actions, and he's where he's appropriate and needs to be placed. I don't wish him any ill will, but at the same time, a parent can only do so much. And if there's a royal screw up, he's got the grand royal screw up. He screwed up big time. And,
yeah, not funny, but it's just.
Oh yeah. I just have to remain compartmentalized about it and not get emotional about it, and just realize it is what it is. You can't do anything about it. That's what you're left with, and so and we have to move on. Deb and I have talked about this and said, we just have to move on from this,
right?
And live out whatever years we have left, and we have each other. We support each other, and we're good about this, and we're not having emotional breakdowns and what have you.
Right.
We've been living with this for about 18 months, so we're pretty callous about it. Not callous, but we're resilient.
Right. Right. Yeah. So yeah, that was a big shocker to me, and maybe that will help him in this awful prison he's going to be in, that he can get upset like that and fly off the handle and fight back, maybe. But I had no idea that I literally thought he was like this meek dude that just, Jen ran him and he just let her. I didn't know that he had done any of those things to you in his 30s. And then, so we go back to the night that he was there with Maddie then. And you wrote it down, but what do you think happened that night?
Well, if you go back to look at the phone calls we had with him very early, it's scattered throughout the communications that we've had with him, and especially at the beginning. And then you put together everything else, Jennifer's interview, and then some of the the inside information we have about his rages or fits of rage. It doesn't take long to put the pieces together. So he mentions very early in the phone conversations we had with him, that he was up and down the stairs throughout the night. He made multiple trips away from the room. He went downstairs, and then he went back upstairs. I guess suppose he got him back in bed, and then and Maddie there. And then the last time when he did that, he says, and again, I think he can go back and find the conversation.
Yep.
She was cold.
Right.
So, and then again, months later, the big data dump that was released by the police or the state attorney's office, and I'm reading through all the transcripts.
Yeah.
Nobody heard anything. At 11 o'clock, everybody goes to bed. I think one roommate comes home late. Here's a thud around 2 o'clock, but nobody hears anything.
Right.
And he's up and down those stairs. I mean, I don't know what time, because again, you can't believe everything he tells you. At what time he discovered her on live. Now he's got to start thinking about how he's going to cover this. Right. And the fact that he went in. So think about this. Maddie didn't need to be to school till 8:30 or 8:45, but he leaves at 7:30.
Yep.
Under the pretense that they were going to McDonald's for breakfast. He goes into Jen's room to get Sailor. He gets Sailor because he doesn't want Jen to get up. Doesn't want Jen to get up and supposedly engage with Maddie. Oh, hey, Jen, I got things covered. I'll take Sailor out. Don't worry. Go back to sleep.
Right.
And she probably took a pill or two, and so it wasn't difficult for her to do that.
Yeah.
And so now there's nobody else. None of the other roommates are up, and he leaves.
Right.
And what he does during that time, I don't know. I don't know from what time the police started tracking him. I don't know if he dumped her backpack that morning at 7:30 before he went to school or took her to school. What really amazed me is that, we talk about Maddie leaving her phone behind, but when I talked to him on Tuesday, and I said, Stephan, you're going to be a person of interest. I said, what have you got to prove to document that you made these trips? Because he told me, well, I went here, I went there, I went there. And I said, what about your cell phone? They can ping it. Well, I don't have my cell phone. Well, just like a teenager, Stephan never went anywhere without that phone. And he gives me this BS excuse of resetting the phone. What have you? Well, you can continue resetting your phone in the car. You don't have to be someplace else and leave it parked. It's not like you're going to disturb it and disrupt the reset. Right. I call BS on that.
Yeah.
So now he's conveniently left his phone behind, and of course he continues to do that because he doesn't want his motions and his travels monitored.
Right.
But he forgot about the big eye in the sky.
Yeah.
all those cameras out there.
Yeah, lots of them, and at the place too, at the condo, right?
Yeah.